Hey scientists, welcome back to Caleb and Luke's Mega Science Show. It's me, Scientist Caleb, and my brother, Lab Assistant Luke. Today we're going to do some pretty cool experiments that you guys can actually do at home involving balloons. We also today have a very special guest here with us. So if you don't mind, we need to bring her in. So on the count of 3, I need you guys to snap 2 fingers. 1, 2, 3. Here she is. This is actually my fiance, future Mrs. Scientist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Are you ready to do some science with us today?
Yes, I'm ready.
Before we start, can I interest you in a piece of science cheese?
Oh yeah, I love it.
And Lab Assistant Luke, you get a piece of science cheese too. There you go. You can have it, yeah, that's all yours. So, like I said, today we're going to do science experiments involving balloons. So, our first one, we're going to see what happens when we put a balloon over a flame. Now at home, make sure you ask your parents to do this because it can be dangerous, but you can do this one at home. So, can you inflate this balloon for us? And while she's doing that, we're going to light up this candle here. Perfect. And, like always, safety equipment. Got my safety goggles on. And I'm going to use this fireproof glove again. All right. So, what do you think is going to happen when I put this over the fire?
No.
Luke, when I put this over the fire, is something going to happen? Will something happen, Luke? Luke is very distracted by the balloon right now. Eliza, do you think something's going to happen?
Yes.
All right, let's see what happens. Oh, and just like that, it pops. Now, let's try something a little different. This time, let's introduce a little bit of water into the balloon and see what that does. All right, Eliza, can you fill this up again with some air?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I'm going to light up our candle again. Oops. Cheap matches. Very cheap matches. All right, so this balloon here has some water in it this time. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna put my glove back on. But first, Luke, is something gonna happen when we put this balloon over the fire?
Yes.
Okay, Luke said yes. Let's see. All right. All right, so as you see, there's some water. And look at that. So, nothing happens there. It didn't pop. Now, the reason that it doesn't pop is because the water inside keeps the air inside the balloon cool. On the first balloon, the yellow one, it popped because the air in the balloon heated up so much that it caused it to pop. With the purple balloon, it didn't pop because it didn't get hot enough in there. Okay, so for our next experiment, we're going to take 2 balloons, a wooden skewer that's sharp, so be very careful, and some dish soap. Eliza, while I'm asking Luke this question, could you inflate these 2 balloons and tie them off for me, please?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Luke, for a piece of science cheese, is the balloon going to pop when we put a skewer through it?
Yes.
Luke says yes. Eliza, what about you? Do you think the balloon will pop when we put a skewer through it?
I agree with Lab Assistant Luke.
All right. Let's try it on this first one. You're right, it popped. All right, well, Luke, I forgot to give you your science cheese. Here you go. What about this? Do you think I can stick a skewer through a balloon, Luke?
Yes.
Thank you for your faith. Eliza, do you think I could stick a skewer through a balloon?
I would be surprised.
She said she would be surprised. Let's see if I can do this. So this time, what we're gonna do, I'm not just gonna stick the skewer in there. We're actually gonna take some dish soap and cover the skewer. Get it all nice and soapy. All right, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna rub this onto the skewer, get it all covered in the soap. And what that's doing is it's called a membrane. Now we're gonna see what the membrane does to the balloon. So first, we're gonna stick it through a little bit, very slowly. All right, so it's in on this side. Let's see if we can get it to go through. And just like that, the balloon is still intact. And let me bring this over to show you. The skewer is straight through the balloon. No, this is not a magic trick. There is science behind it. Like I said, there's a membrane. And what the membrane does is it covers the skewer, and also the holes that the skewer makes in the balloon, so none of the air can get out, so it doesn't pop when you poke at it. So let's see. Can we pop it now? But now you can pop it. All right, so for our last project, we are gonna be making a hover car. Now, what we need is a balloon, a plastic bottle cap, a straw, and a CD or a DVD. Now, what we're gonna do is you're gonna use a hot glue gun and you're gonna glue the cap to the CD and poke a hole in it, and then you'll put the balloon over the bottle cap. Unfortunately, our science hot glue gun does not reach out to this part of the lab. So I think if we snap though, it might actually all come together. So can you help me snap?
Of course.
On the count of 3, everybody, scientists at home too, we're gonna snap both fingers, and I think that might do the trick. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so there you have it. Here's our hover car. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this straw and we're gonna inflate it. All right, so what's gonna happen is when I release this, it's gonna go pretty quickly. But what it's gonna do is under the CD, there's gonna be a little pocket of air, and it's gonna cause it to glide along the table, kind of like when you're playing air hockey. It'll be like an air hockey puck. So let's try this out. All right, as you can see, it glides off the table. So like I said, there's a little air pocket underneath, and that air pocket comes from the balloon releasing the air through the little hole in the CD. So what it does is it lifts it up just a tiny bit so that the air can't escape too much, otherwise it would just deflate and it wouldn't go anywhere. But when we inflate it and then the air comes out, it's just a little tiny air pocket which causes it to glide. It doesn't glide very well on this, but with that air pocket it can glide. So there is 3 science experiments that you can do at home with balloons. Eliza, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. And you might have also seen our friend, Dr. Benjamin, the science research dog, running around. He's been doing some research for us. So, Dr. Benjamin, thank you for coming on the show. And as always, Lab Assistant Luke, thank you for your help. All right, guys, we'll see you next week for some more science.